On the most serious note, you were a great songwriter, man.
Thank you.
It's crazy. I mean, forget the fact that you're my brother. No. You're a great songwriter.
Thank you, my brother.
What? Listen, what sets you apart from other songwriters?
I think that I've been doing this for a long time. Before I came out in 1997, I was writing songs from 1991 every day, and then I used to. I remember in 91, 92, I used to rehearse for 4 hours. I used to play rap songs, Eric B, Rakim, Fushnikens, Shabarangs. I would take their songs and I'll translate it into Chi.
Okay.
And try to rehearse it for 4 hours every day. So I remember my mom would come and knock my room. Bedidi. You know, so I think that I have had a lot of time to rehearse and to hone my craft. Apart from that, you know, my father was a writer.
Right.
In all my father's books, he wrote beautiful poems. So I remember that when I was like 15, he would sit me down and try to teach me how to write. How to, an expose, a middle, growth, suspense, conclusion, you know, resolution. All those things were taught to me by my father. You know, so I think I'm just fortunate. I'm fortunate.
Were they reflecting in your books? In academia, when you go to school, were you getting good passes?
Not at all. You know, when I finished Form 5, I got 9 in everything except Akan. I got 9 in everything, but I had 1 in Chi.
Why?
I know. I you know, growing up I was dyslexic. You know, so I was one of those.
That's it.
I was one of those children that at 10 I used to say emu eni o.
Okay, right.
You know, so one of those children. And then they, instead of diagnosing me properly or taking me to a professional, they used to beat me. They used to hit my head, you know, with cane. Where Jimmy? I had that consistently for like 10 years.
Whoa.
And then, you know, sometimes my mother, who was also a teacher, she had a friend that was teaching me at class 2. So this friend, her name was Mrs. Boama. So my mother would beat me at home. And then when I go to school, Mrs. Boama will also beat me. And what broke my spirit was that I couldn't come home to tell my father because he was in on it. You know, like I was beaten. I'm even tearing up. I was beaten everywhere for not knowing how to read and count. And it wasn't my fault. You know, so I went through school. I didn't know why I was going to school. I didn't care about what they were teaching me. All that I was interested in was the poetry and how to get the knowledge of poetry, language, culture, tradition. Those were the things that I didn't care about. Mathematics, accounting, nothing. So I got my 9 in everything.
English, maths,
English,
9.
See, I could have passed English, but during the essay, there was Kokrobite in it, and I'd never come to Accra before. So I read it as Kokrobite. I read it as Kokrobite. So I'm here. I need to answer this essay. And because of the word Kokrobite, I didn't understand the essay.
Right.
You know, so I couldn't fill the questions. I couldn't do the passage. I couldn't do anything. That's why I got 9. I wasn't that terrible at English, but I got 9 because of the word Kukurubiti.
Right.
Yes. But you know,
very, very
you know, so after I completed Form 5, then this is in 92 or 93. Then I wanted to take the rap seriously. So I went to Lord Marcus and I asked Lord Marcus to teach me how to rap.
Man.
Yes. So he said I should bring my resource. He saw my resource and said, rap is for intelligent people. You know, go and check out Rakim, check out KRS-One, check out, exactly. So when we look at, check out Nas. So when he played rap songs and he made me write them down, and I realized that these were philosophies. I mean, these were modern day Shakespeare's.
Right.
So he said, if I'm going to teach you how to rap, then you need to read. So every day he will give me a book and then teach me one concept in literature, maybe metaphor or simile. So go and underline all the similes in this book and come back.
Wow.
In 4 days. You know, but I remember he used to say, and so when the 4 days was up and I didn't bring the books, he would say, sorry. You know, so for at least between 4 days and a week, I will underline all the concepts. So in 1 year.
Were you getting some wrongly though?
No, I love literature. So this guy did what my parents couldn't do. He found my interest and used it to bring along all the other things I was afraid to do.
Okay.
And so when I wrote my Second World War, I had 1.
Really?
Yes, except maths that I got like 3. I had 1 in geography.
Late entrance.
Yes, I did the Second World War. You know, I had 1 in geography. I had this, but already I had started my Okyeame
those
afternoon sys for Bantama SDA, you know. So when I completed, I had also passed because Lord Marcus had given me, you know, a business class ticket.
Who was Lord Marcus?
So we lived in Fantino Town in Kumasi. So Lord Marcus was the son of the preacher at the AMA Zion.
Right.
So he was exposed. He came to the secondary school at Cape Coast, and then he had exposed friends. Parents used to travel. He was the coolest guy in Fantino Town. He played basketball. He knew how to woo girls. He was the guy to. So I wasn't the only one that he influenced that way. He influenced Lord Kenya. Almost every young guy who wanted to become a rapper at that time in Kumasi, Lord Marcus had some influence on us.
But was he a rapper?
He was a rapper as well. But now he teaches in a university or a secondary school in America. He became an academic. But Lord Marcus did what my parents couldn't do. He found my interest and did the whole horse and carrot thing, and he used it to lure me out.
Wow. Okyeame Kwame, always a storyteller. always a storyteller. But you, when you came from America, all you wanted was Ghanaians to accept you as the best rapper.
Yes.
But where did that interest come from? Because, well, I thought your interest was in poetry and you wanted to show that you were a good song. At a point in time, you wanted to be known as the best songwriter.
Yes.
And you had migrated from being a best rapper to the best songwriter.
Yes.
So where did the interest of being the best rapper come from?
I just realized that, okay, the songwriter was too vague. The specific thing that before people will realize that I'm a good songwriter, they must see I'm a good rapper. Because I was a rapper first. When you said Okyeame Kwame, people said rap doctor.
Right.
You know, so people first looked at me as a rapper before they looked at me as a songwriter. So I realized that, okay, the songwriter thing is difficult because I need to contend with Rexoma, Amachi Dede, Amanziba, Kodrenchi.
You're talking about great songwriters.
Yes, Daddy Lumba, you know, Papa Yankson.
A.B. Krenzel.
You know, at that time, they were still trending. You know, so I need to contest with people like Kodrenchi. So I said, okay, you know what? This is a difficult thing to achieve. Let me first attack Bookback and Reggie Rockstone, and, you know, let me first deal with my space. And after I've dealt with my space, then I can go and contend with these other legends. You know, so I decided to, okay, then maybe show my rap prowess first, because you need songwriting skills to be a great rapper. So once they find me a great rapper, they will now pay attention and look at my songwriting. Yes.
Okay, but was it paying off? Because it looks like at the time you were struggling.
Yes, I was struggling. I remember that, you know, I came back from America in 2003. And then between 2003 and 2009, I became Artist of the Year. I had done 219 features. So I used to call Amanziba. I say, Uncle, are you recording an album? I want to come and put my raps on it.
Was that what you were doing?
Yes, I called.
You were rather lobbying for them.
I called Daddy Lumba. I called La Lumba. I called everybody. I used to call Samini. Because I realized that when I returned from the US, nobody knew Okyeame anymore. Remember that you took me in 2003 to an Nkase lunch that you were playing at the beach.
Really? I've forgotten.
And then when you actually had to beg them to put me back on stage. And when they put me on stage, people were booing me. So when you started playing for me, the people like, away. And then I did my rap, tap, and then they say, yeah. Then I got off quietly.
Okay.
That was the day of reckoning for me. That was the day I realized that, hey, so this Okyeame thing has ended. I need to build my own steam, because this old, you know, steam is gone. Because people didn't even remember who I was. So how was
social media wasn't alive at the time to rekindle your brand.
Exactly. So how was I going to do it? I was going to hold on to the people who had established themselves whilst I was away.
Okay.
And try to bounce back. You know, so that's what I did. And then I also took something from Samini. I realized that Samini was featuring on everybody's song. So once he's on the song, then the fans of him, his fans, and the fans of the other artists will come together to love him. You know, so I got inspired. Samini inspired me, and then I featured on everybody's song, and that was the thing that gave me the impetus.
Okyeame Kwame, too many features. I remember, back then, Charlie, your features were too many.
They used to call me Sugar. You remember, if I put my sugar in your cocoa, the song is a hit.
Straight.
Yes.
But you were not charging for those who were rather inviting you to
feature. No. When I started, I remember clearly when I started, I was the one calling people. So when it was my time to also feature for people, I didn't charge anything. I'll just come and do nothing. If you call that Lumba, he'll tell you. Yes, I didn't charge anything. I was happy to do it because I knew that this Okyeame Kwame that I have become. I knew that it was, sometimes when you see a baby of a lion, it looks like a house cat. So you think it's a house cat, but it knows it's a lion. Yeah. Yes, that was how it felt like. So I was using that opportunity to express my lionness.
Wow. One of the best features, man.
Daybreak Hitz.
Cherish and adore a soul. Mechi, my baby. Michelle, my coffee, I'm not for Oka, I'm married. That's so Michelle. My America, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Zimbabwe, Africa. My co East, West, North and South. That's so Michelle.
I mean, this is a song I like. I just don't like. I love it. Now let's listen to your rap. Hold on. You're doing great features, man.
Oh man,
you're doing great. Now you did a feature for me.
Hey, this is my favorite rap of all time. This is all the raps I've done on air. This is the best one.
Oh, I see.
Yes, all of them.
And then your Friday night, my imagine some me if you say you're bright. Well, me for sports beach light. The disco once up wedding chair white. And yam no matter so yana me baby dear for me man I'm kind of right. My cabio, my bambo, my simo, my tiaso kaneko kobia so traffic light. Stop. About minute you don't say boom be bright. Yeah, wow. Can I give you a ride? Watching any two boy me spy. Tell me the minion brothers me 419. Dinner will show me on a curfew.
Some show when him out was some nephew. That's we said then I walk a demo perfume.
A bag or call me that was your thank you.
Yeah, street girl, what you saying? Let's step to the mall, I'll do the pain. I'm a boss girl, I ain't faking. After shopping, you go chill it, our holiday. My brain, I mean, me a fanboy, see what don't be there when ya. I'm a strong, I'm a famous.
Me feel it older than see you cause I diamante.
I feel what's now me kem. A condition and the bonus I know JJ them. Or to send me watch me Kwame you be no come and you buy no in the place I feel they no be bem. Hello mommy, I want to sing. Obey DJ, if Fred will sing what's it?
Hi Andy, I told me now straight. I'm ready. Come on, young quick.
Okay, we are not saying it's not charming some. Miss your don't you send up and your damn my bem. Or the family busu is I go see me young. That's not on any who and any punk up and temp just to send me 6 pack. Now you 1 pack. A wide me and a sort of sit back. No radio, no one be now you tic tac. Did you mic in the band speaker and mind your feedback? Sure, I feel me young with green light. Or by us, I such a chin and this isn't right. My wild me doom light. I don't want in a meeting my high me sing kite.
Yeah, street girl, what you saying? Let's step to the mall, I'll do the pain. I'm a boss girl, I ain't faking. After shopping, you go chill it, our holiday. My brain, I mean, me a fanboy, see what don't be there when ya. But I'm a strong, I'm a famous.
Me feel it older than see you cause I diamante.
She wrote on my wall, I'm loving you, Kwame, can I give you a call? See,
Living abroad, I'm feeling you so wanna give you more.
Yeah. Chorus, pill photos, count photos, more kudos, pill photos, go solo, mojo, upe polo.
Next time if I gonna do me bro polo. Why feed the dummy? Well, me so when shit not it. The number not on inbox name dada. But I say your cost from an anonymous number. You can have a crap and my brain ya hala. My game if you don't say that the game wa hala.
No vote my question number. Why video my kana to my to me better sama. I feel me do me sneaky my shower my power me yi me kawa my cover me try me lava or beba e pro ni bi na me wonder na ni pie na ma mo
Send me wife na Facebook number. Oh man,
Charlie, you know when you were recording your verse, I was rather at work.
Yes,
Because I got you in the studio at about 1 p.m. You left there at about 10 or 11 p.m. So I couldn't get the chance to hear it. So I called Lagio and I asked him, Charlie, how far? So, Sisi are no free. I'm like, hey, it's 11 p.m. Brah. I'm like, why? He said, you need to listen. So I drove straight to his studio. I sat back and I listened. At about midnight, I was in the studio.
yes.
Like, can I call him to come back and sing it again? Because this one, yeah, Charlie, man, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but. And that was with George Gerard.
Yes.
And you worked with Makokre Kumante on
Yes,
this.
and I PhD on this.
Your boss.
My boss, kwata.
So what, did you call for this too, or they invited
No,
you?
this one, Mark called me. So this was the time when I had gained some steam, and then people had started calling me.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so this is the time. But yeah, I used to call them. Then now when they realized that it was dope, then they would now call me. Yes.
Because if I recall, the kind of features you were doing at the time, I mean, working with Tiny, you worked with, oh my God, guess what? Which one I found? Oh man.
You know the name, right?
You worked on this one,
Yes.
the game.
See, we're searching for the answer. We wanna live a happy ever after. Hey, we should open a new chapter so we can write the story again. Cause we're killing the game. The game. The game. The game. We're killing the game. The game. The game. The game.
Ya faili, yenye na ya faili.
Oh.
Life yen so shanka ya traili. Ya traili, tina maya waili. Ya ne fidenti.
The pretty sending yamin and why you did kind who no mind, yes, he kind and what time Chini Kayama wine, and the pine, Danny time out of pine, back for a mobile mine, minimum Yanaka, a flat fire China,
Yenina Wagana, it's a Hakamana, it's a Bonibina, or Mayeni Yansa, just a Yeni Yansa, you'll be a person international and on the answer.
I mean, if you be one answer, I go two, who need Tabayana, and so we present two, by your Jana Wutu, but two Yaria Petu, about Fabias and the Web.
Man, but you've done great stuff.
We've done some work. That's some more to do.
You've done great stuff. But for me, I think one of the craziest features you did, man.
Hey, yo, DJ.
Yo,
You know, I didn't write this rap.
at that time you were too much on heat.
Yes, I didn't write it.
Really?
I had an exam the next morning, so I had come to Accra for an interview, and then Richie said I should come and do this for rap doctor. Come and do it. So I went to the studio. I didn't have a pen and pad. It just kept coming out of my head. It was one of those features I didn't write.
Jesus
I didn't
Christ.
write it.
Whoa.
I didn't write it.
Because Charlie, this one was crazy. I mean it's
Yenti.
I'm talking about a girl with colors like a rainbow.
or stop and mecano, the bueno, a fano, gonna rap in my pano,
Meaning tiny.
Miniano,
Are you sexy?
Miniano, Bibiano, Nano, Miano, some never say Nano, Super Brosa Hanano, Miamano, overseen of the born is so beach, I want so beat, a home and pinning me home and pinning me home and down and one quiet and home and Yanaman and call me, yes, or home and never home, come on, I'm Gerano, you pull with your wide, you might tell me, wow. I don't be a brand ambulance, sending young to one feel it, Yamu. Where hit it, say, how, Mr. Cow, bow down now, you know, bluffing on me, talking on me, rushing on me, you know, me crossing on me, loving on. Or say, me say, I day, or say, oh, me say, oh, or smack, me say, K, or say, me say, day, or see, boy, me say, when ye, or see, dear, me say, my Sunday, or say, baby, me be a mission, I'm the drum, me say, or say, me turn down, me the tongue, me so dumb, me, show me, gamma, me ring, so,
Hey, Jolly. Yo.
Or say Missy Aden, or see Missy oh, or say Missy Aden, or Smeka, Missy Kane, or see boy, Missy Wenye, or see tea, Missy Masuni, or say very maybe a Missia, now me don't be a inquiry, Mrs. Sa, or say Metanada, Mediterranean. Good old days.
No, when you listen to these kind of songs, do you feel like you're the greatest rapper, or you feel like, well, hey, those times.
Honestly, I used to feel like I was the greatest rapper for many years. And then Sarkodie and EL and Floating Stone, I read them and Gemini and Medical and Joy V and all these young people just emerged. And I'm like, wow, what is this new type of rap that I don't even understand? You know, so for a while, I took between 2016 and 2017, I turned off my phone only to pay attention to the music industry. Yes, I turned off my phone for 1 whole year so that I could cleanse myself of everything that I think I know and take in the new knowledge that is coming. And it was after I did that then I recorded the Made in Ghana album and everything else that is to follow.
You switched off your phone
for 1 whole year.
So how were you communicating with people?
Oh, you know, people who know how to find, for my mom, and they will call Abuakese or call my wife. You know, if you wanted to find me, my phone was off, you wouldn't even know because you quickly call my wife. So people who needed to find me, found me. But I was off totally. When I turned 40, I turned off my phone for 1 whole year. 1 whole year. I didn't go anywhere. I was at home the whole year. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't speak to anyone except you and a few people. And then I turned off my phone off. I didn't think of music. I just wanted to cleanse my mind. I just wanted a certain hygiene for everything I had done so I could start my life again.
But it's good you mentioned that the new crop of musicians, I mean, the rappers, Sarkodie, Gemini, Floating Stone, EL, Joey B, and the rest.
Medical, Strong Man.
Yes, great rappers. Now, all of these guys came up. So when you listen to them, do you shiver? Do you feel like...
No, I don't. I just appreciate. When I listen to someone like Sarkodie, I'm like, I was telling my son the other time, when you say, Sarkodie, we are doing this thing, let us all do 100, he will do 1,000. You know, I'm like, wow, this young man has energy. Because he's like he's like those energizer batteries. He never stops, you know. So he's just inspiring. It is just inspiring to see, like my brother Flo Kingston, every day he's in the studio. When he has a studio in his washroom, a studio in his bathroom, a studio everywhere, a studio in his car. Every time he's recording, I'm like, how do you do it?
The energy is too hard.
Exactly, you know, so that is something that I envy. I envy youth. I envy only 2 things. A person that is smarter than I am and a person who has a much younger age. These are the only 2 things I envy. Yes. When I meet one who is more knowledgeable than I am, like, wow, how do I know that? When I can never be 24 again. You know, so how do I tap into the energy of all the 24-year-olds around me and still be able to...
You still want to be young?
I want to be young. I want to grow young. I did a song called...
Is it growing old is a scam?
Yes, I'm telling you, I don't want to grow, because if I grow old, I'll die. I don't want to die.
Speaking of death, you mentioned... Okay, now before you even go there, you were talking about rap.
Yes.
And Sarkodie's energy. Now, Floating Stone, your brother, featured Sarkodie on a song. When you heard it,
yes,
what was your reaction?
I heard the song before everyone. So before a month before, he sent me the recording. You know, I went to No, I heard a song. He sent it to me, and I'm like, wow, this is beautiful artistry. The thing that shocked me was when the song came out, it became rather a banter on social media. That's Sarkodie fans against Flo Kingston fans. That's what I didn't understand. I didn't see how people couldn't find the unity in their diversity. The fact that they had come together to record a song together. I thought that was going to inspire Ghanaian youth to come together to achieve more together. I thought it was going to inspire collaboration, but no, it inspired competition. So I was quite shocked that was the outcome. But the song was beautiful, especially the Jatawale chorus. The chorus killed me. His voice like a man. Oh man! Yeah. It was a beautiful song. I just wished I could be on that song.
Really?
I wanted to be on that song. But the song was
apart from you, you did a feature with Sarkodie. I think it was a collaborative effort for KKD.
Yes.
But why haven't you recorded with him yet?
We've been speaking about recording for 10 years now. But I know God's time is the best, so at the right time.
Because I remember I had met you and Sarkodie.
Yes.
And I heard Sarkodie say, Brapani, still I'm a train.
I know. First, we spoke about doing singles, and then we sat down and we spoke about recording an album together so that we could go on a tour together, like the best of both worlds. And then the idea became so big, then it became difficult to manifest.
Okay.
A single would have been easy. But I think that I should just repick the conversation and then see where I can't wait. If there's one thing that I must do before I quit rapping, it must be a feature with Zach.
I see. All right, listeners, I've been talking to Okyeame Kwame, Ghana's rap doctor, Made in Ghana ambassador. Are you still the ambassador for Made in Ghana?
Yes.
I see. Okay, so before I touched on the Floking Sark feature, something came up about you speaking about death.
Yes, I like death.
And you like death?
I love it. It's an amazing natural phenomenon.
So what are you still doing on earth?
No, sir, I'm not old enough or I'm not hurt enough for the life to leak out of my body. So I lose my body. But I think that our society, we shy away from speaking about the most important things like sex. We don't speak about money. We do not talk about conflict. We don't talk about death. These are amazing phenomena that we need to look at. And because of that, we always go back to what our forefathers said about these things 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 1,000 years ago. And even though it might not be applicable in modern terms, we still hold on to because we are too scared to talk about them. I think we need to have such discussions.
About death?
About death, sex, life, God. We need to.
Your children are growing.
Yes.
Do you speak to them about sex?
Every day.
Sex?
Every single day. So when my children used to go to school.
They are no longer in school?
No. We are doing homeschooling now. When they used to go to school, it was a 30-minute drive from my house to their school. And on that drive, every day we speak about sex from the beginning of the drive till they get to school. Sex. They ask all sorts of questions.
Yeah, what the oldest is what, 11 years?
11. The youngest is 9. Because would you rather want their friends to tell them about sex? Or you want to tell them and tell them the truth? Because the idea is to be able to empower our children with knowledge we didn't have when we were their age. So that they would not make the mistakes we make. So we talk about everything. We talk about, the other time they were asking me who is on top. My son is trying to find out, are human beings the only animals who have sex for procreation and recreation? Do dogs enjoy sex? Why do we hide sex? Why is it done in secrecy? They want to know everything. And I think that I am the one to tell them, not their friends.
So how do you tell them about penetration and how we procreate? And people not even using it purposefully, but rather the fun side, especially when it comes to commercial sex, when it comes to premarital sex and all. How do you explain that?
I tell them the truth, man. I tell them the truth. For example, my children watch Nat Geo Wild. So they see sex all the time.
With animals?
They see animals having sex, dogs having sex, apes having sex the same way men do, And so when they come, they already know or they've seen how it's done. Then they come to find out. And because they've already seen it, I must tell them the truth. I tell them about everything. But the thing with sex and morality, which is, usually where we start from is the fact that if you are going to have sex with somebody, make sure it is the right age, it is the right time, and it is with the right person. So this is what we try to drum in. You know me, I'm not a rules and regulations person. Wherever there are rules and regulations, there's an acceptance that there's folly. You know, so I'd rather tell you that this is what I did and this is how it has been done in the past. So you decide, you choose whichever path that you want to go. I don't try to nudge my children in any direction because I'm not raising them. It's not livestock. I am guiding them.
Okay.
I'm nurturing them to be the best of themselves.
Okay, some few questions and then I'll read some of the tweets. Alice from Bank of Ghana, Sister Alice, our very own Alice Tope. It says, Kwesi, please ask him, with the kind of English he speaks, he still got 9 in English? You should give me the year and I'll call for remarking. Caleb Boy says, Caleb from Star FM. He said that I think Boswe and Kasai for do remix, rap and kwa. Ghanaians didn't digest the song well. I'm honored this rap is Okyeame's favorite. I told you the story on how I heard this song in Nigeria. Well, Caleb, thank you very much. Yeah, I remember you mentioned it the other day. Now, Sadiq says, the ever deepful Okyeame Kwame.
Oh.
When he spent time with us at the 3 MA's board this year, it was clear Okyeame needed to pursue the PhD.
Oh.
His deep insights and experience provided lots of direction to us this year. Really looking to the day I will address him as Dr. Kwame Nsiampel, all-round hard guy.
Oh.
Love him to bits, no homo.
Oh.
Sadiq, come to work and stop the long writing. Yeah. Nana Very Many on Twitter says, Andy, I'm loving this interview. It's now clear. Okay, is the best rapper alive. One of my favorite songs from him is called Coco.
Yes.
The intro be late. Cletus Brian says, Andy, what a great conversation. Hitz FM, I'm enjoying Okyeame Kwame songs. Keep improving, champion. Original Slice says, who said staying out of bad controversy can't get you there? Most people don't have patience now. They want everything fast. Doing the right thing is slow and difficult, but it's worth it if you push through. Big ups to Okyeame Kwame, you set a good example.
Touched.
Okay. Cletus Brand 1 says, man is still vibing, legendary setting. And he does well, thank you. Step Ed says, Boss Andy, please, I tell the legend of Okyeame Kwame that I don't believe he didn't write that verse on Ringtone Remix. Writing the beat, this Charlie flow was tight. Wow. Shikome _1 says, hey, Ringtone was the biggest at the time and Tiny was the hottest in Ghana then. Charlie Okyeame Kwame, you be rap god, what? The squad on that song, eh? Charlie, but that song, it be me put out together too.
Yes. Yes.
And unfortunately, when you guys were recording, I was out of town.
I know we didn't want you to come. Andy Dusty Neo.
It was what made the song. It made it so interesting.
Yes.
Oji Wangana says, hey, Andy be wicked. You just played my favorite Rap Doctor song. Rap Doctor, I remember his America story. It was real hustle. Please ask him to explain rockstar lyrics on his new song. I can't get it. Okay. You do it. Kojo Dompe says, ask Okyeame Kwame's relationship with Guru, please. Mixon says, Andy, please ask Okyeame. He has only one song with Sarkodie, that's KKD. Yes. She comments, I beg, drop Ringtone Remix. Okyeame's rap was wild and dope. But like, seriously, Andy, you two, you be low-key wild rapper. Salem says, hey, Andy, the rapper. Wow, Hitz FM. Okay. Mixon says, Andy, thanks for hosting Okyeame. Guy, not to brofu. Hey! Daybreak is hashtag 1957.
Oh.
Charlie, this 1967, we have to work, do something on it.
I have to do the video.
Oji Wangana says, Kumarika, Ashanti Kotoko win was a continual strategy. I know, right? I know. Omar Blake says, Mr. Andy, in fact, Okyeame Kwame is really a mature person. I'm really loving this interview. Wiseman 2131 said, if there's anything, I quote, if there's anything I must do before I quit music, it must be a feature with Sark. My heart just stopped. I am Chus Stanley. Please ask Okyeame Kwame what really inspired him to do the song of Pabne. Is really my best rap ever.
I was hungry.
That day. Pabne was something else.
I was hungry.
Illuminati.
I was hungry.
Charlie, Pabne be something, eh?
Yes.
Wicked. Pabne. Oh man. But me, there was one song you did that I doubted if you're really a human being?
Really? Which one is it?
This song right here.
Oh,
This song right here with I1 and Richie.
the rap went backwards.
Backwards.
Oh, man, I can see, should have called me here, man.
No.
Okyeame,
Charlie, this song, man.
Richie, I want the lyrical book shorts. Selassie, yeah.
Let's listen to this song. When we come back, Ria will join us in the studio with her questions, and then we'll listen to Yeko.
As I come up for the ghetto, so many things to follow. Yo, but my life is borrowed, and I can afford to live in a sorrow. I know where I'm coming from. Can't call me the prodigal son, so I can't afford to go wrong. I stay strong, baby. Sometimes you know I say like before, but you better respect to the call. So never go astray and break the law, else you find yourself 6 feet off the floor. I can't lose my life right now, cause I need it right now. If I'm dead and gone right now, we're gonna sing for you right now. I love my life right now, so I can't lose it right now. If I'm dead and gone right now, we're gonna sing for you right now. You only got one life, so do your things right. Stay calm and don't fight, brethren. You only got one life, so active foresight. Ambitious person never go blind. Stay right, stay.
You got one life to live, so keep your head up, One life to live, see I got more life to give, so I'ma stand up, One life to live, see you got one life to live, so keep your head up, One life to live, see I got more life to give, so I'ma stand up, One life to live, yeah. See the life that I'm living is full of stress, but I act like I got no problems. Yeah. Been walking around acting like I'm the best, but then I hide and solve my problems. Yeah. If you're born in the gutter, then you better learn to run, cause the road ahead is so long. Where you from don't matter, what matters is who you are, and you should be your number one. Yeah. I am what I want to be. I never had a choice cause my life chose me. So I'ma live for me, but I live with you in harmony. If I could start my life all over again, then I would do this just the same. Kwame, I wanna Richie again. Selassie, if I could start my life all over again, then I would do this just the same. Things entertainment, I do it again. Selassie.
Now listen to this, listen to this.
From a tade, running when I move, met to Abuba, free na Kawamu, find when I move, stand by share 20 move, maybe Pia cool, moving Satia, free trigger and so, met 20 sound for share Nataso, the well phone and ya bro, beside you, Nasanyo, to Pimpin, and she sang what trying to get home, and put him into a pint, in a knife for break me so, the chicken and the buffo, now what bring a chicken, now what now what Kaneshi and Marcus here on the now we shall not be who they would attack a filling station. You're doing in the home, but let's pump like you to Nefican. You may see one any now, Catania, who you never need to know, so compromise that you're moving in the sick and Nam and Kwame, Sonia, Japan, man, within the Kwame and in the crowd, Marco Finti, Sicilian, so one and one drink, pop, genius.
Were you watching a movie when you were writing it?
Yes, I decided, I said, I've done a lot of things. Can I write a story from backwards where a person who is planning to go and kill somebody will change his mind at the filling station? So the petrol comes out of his tank, goes back into the station.
The nozzle goes back into it.
Yes, and then he you know, the whole story is told from backwards when he has actually gone to kill the person. When he's going to shoot the person, and then now he decides that he gets the bullet back from the person's, belly into the pistol. His hand away from the trigger. From the trigger, gun goes back into the holster. He reverses into the car. His feet leaves the brake, and then goes back onto the accelerator, and then he drives to the filling station where he decided to go and kill his brother.
But that's genius. I mean, I listened to it like, what was this guy thinking?
I don't know, it's inspiration. Honestly, as an artist, you need to humble yourself for the process. Because you have no control over the things that you paint. I mean, The greatest painter is trying to mimic something that God has done in nature, painting a tree, a face. You can't actually add anything to what God has done. So, but unless you humble yourself, you will not be inspired enough to give to the universe the signals that you must send to the universe. So I think that I just paid attention, and then God inspired me to write something artistic like this. It's not by any doing. I don't remember that I knew any trick or any philosophy or any theory that I just came into my spirit to write a song from reverse.
Ria.
Yes, darling.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so all I would like to say is that I think you don't have a bad song, honestly.
Oh.
You do not have a bad song. Like, you're one of the greats when it comes to hip life.
Pressure.
I mean, it's true. And I would also want to say, I like the way you are family oriented.
Thank you.
You have a tight-knit family from your relationship. From what I heard, your relationship with your parents, your relationship with your brothers and your kids and your wife, I think it is something worthy of emulation.
Thank you.
But
Abem.
Oh, of course. Of course.
No.
Freely.
No, I
Of course, they all can't have in you.
I wanted
word
to
of
ask
course.
a question because
Please talk to me.
I think I watched an interview, one of your interviews, I think with Black Rasta at Xylophone FM. And you told him about how, as a little boy, you learned fatherhood from your father by him putting you in one of his
Taxis in the evenings.
in the evening and roaming around Kumasi and all that, and that's what taught you to be a good father and to love your children. I wanted to know what would be, it's not every artist or budding artist or who an artist who has made it that has that kind of rapport with their kids or rapport with their family like you do. And some are even unfortunate to not have their wife around or not to have their baby mama, in quotes, around. I think what will be the ultimate big brotherly, fatherly advice you can give, such artists?
Well, I'll say that not just artists, for every young man, a father is not a sperm donor. So when you've made a woman pregnant and we both bring forth a child, it is your responsibility to take care of the child together. I mean, the best and the easiest way is when you are both in a relationship or when you are both at the same place. But even if you are not at the same place, you need to try your best. That's when you must double the effort to make sure that your life will touch the life of this young one that you have brought. Because your child is your child. It is your responsibility to take care of your child. I mean, it's not always money. Sometimes it's touch. Sometimes it's an advice. Sometimes it's just because the child has come to you. He feels good. When a child has a great relationship with his father, he is confident because if someone is trying to hurt him, he knows that his protector, which is his father, will come. So it doesn't matter if you have money or not, whether the girl lives in London or you are in Ghana. Make sure that once you are responsible for bringing that child, you need to make sure that the consequence of your life is on the child. You have to touch the child. You have to speak to her. You need to hug the child. You need to eat with the child. Because whenever I'm about to do something silly, I'm guided by three things. What would my father do? What would Christ do? What is the effect of this action on my life? So my father's voice is always in my head. If you listen to 100 interviews I do, my father will always come in. The first sentence. So please have a relationship with your children.
Okay, so speaking about children, I just heard you tell Andy that you are homeschooling your kids.
Yes.
And I wanted to know what informed that decision, because you have very smart kids.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I just wanted to know what informed that decision. Is it that you don't really like the educational system in Ghana? Or
No, I've always, before Annie and I got married, we used to say we will homeschool our children.
Okay.
Because we had spoken about Annie will work in corporate for a while and stop, and then come and be a stay-home mom. Not a housewife, a stay-home mom who is taking care of the children and doing some petty trading on the side. So but we were just afraid to try it. But when the COVID came and there was lockdown and we had to teach our children every day, and even with this school system of online schooling, you must be there to make sure that the children don't turn the screen off and veer into YouTube, something. You know, the COVID told us that this homeschooling thing will work. So in the middle of the COVID, we wrote to the school that we want to homeschool our children.
Okay.
So we have always wanted to do the homeschooling because I'm home during the weekdays. I work on weekends, and then my wife is also home. You know, so I think that. And then to answer the question, do I have a problem with the education system? Not really, but I do not think that the whole idea of regurgitation of who is that, who did that, in which year did John Jaddi, those things, you know, our mind works in two ways. It either works with our memory or with our imagination. So I think that our education system tries to improve our memory. That's why you learn at the right time, you write an exam based on the things you remember. And the one that remembers most gets 100 and is rewarded. The one doesn't remember
gets 9
and is punished and hooted at and laughed at, you know. But the whole idea of education is not just about memory, it's also about imagination, it's about creativity. And our schools do not teach creativity. I mean, I remember when we were at cars, we used to laugh at our art teacher. But for a car to be able to be what it is an engineer who is not just relying on the memory of engineering, but also has the creativity of imagination to decide to turn a horse and carriage into a machine, and so that it picks people and moves. So I think that our education can begin to look at creativity too. That's why I am a TVET ambassador, because I honestly trust and I know that if we pay attention to the technical and vocational education in Ghana as well, it will work. So what I do is that I have a teacher that comes to the house from Monday to Friday, from Monday to Thursday, and on every Friday, whatever it is that we are doing, we go out there to see it. So if we are learning engineering, I drive them to the fitters shop, they see. We are talking about history, I drive them to the museum. If we are talking about the marketplace, we drive to the marketplace, and then they see, they touch, they feel. You know, it's not just about here. It's about touching, feeling, and trying. So sometimes we even go to the carpentry shop for them to try and do something, because that is what will move Africa forward. Baba Dienu does.
I know.
So my last question.
Finish it.
My last question. I mean, you've spent decades in this industry. You've gone on your sabbaticals. You've come back. You've seen it all, done it all. We hear so many of these new artists saying they don't have support. I mean, we've discussed it on this show so many times. We don't have support. We don't enjoy a lot of airplay. We don't have unity. What do you think is the problem at this point? Because I mean, you've seen it all, and I think you played quite a pivotal role on some of the boards when it comes to the music industry. So for you, from your perspective, what exactly do you think the problem is?
Is in this industry, I think I group it into two: professionalism and unity. Okay. So let me speak about unity first. So two rappers fight amongst themselves and they go and pay 3,000 cedis to record a song insulting the other one. Then the song comes on radio and it's a big hit. And it's trending on Twitter and YouTube in the millions. And the other rapper also goes to do the same. What happens is that immediately, radio gets content. There's a great opportunity for you to gossip so that MTN pays how much they paid to advertise for 4 seconds. You know, and then the bloggers pick it. And then they also get clickbait. And Google AdSense pays them. And everybody in the chain is going to get something. But 2 weeks later, when the artist tries to get sponsorship from MTN says, no, you are the guy fighting with those people. If we do a collaboration with you, how do we know that in 3 weeks you will not go and do a song to diss us? So we are trying to push an agenda at Parliament, trying to get a bill passed. And politicians are saying, what? There are no schools in Tumu. Why should we spend 30 hours of parliamentarians' time talking about these rappers who are always insulting themselves on Twitter? So what happens is that we are so selfish that we look at our immediate trend, immediate gratification. That is one of the things. So unity amongst us, or unity that is not existing inside this industry, is the thing that gets the people who are supposed to do the right things for the industry to pretend they don't know they are supposed to do the right thing. And then professionalism. When your talent is as solid as, say, Kwame, Eugene, or Kiddy, there's no way that you will not blow. Because the talent of Kwame Eugene is where it is. What it means is that he has rehearsed all his life to be able to become who he is now. And I remember when I was trying to come up, I was doing my national service. I used all my national service alawa to record bad demos. All of it to record bad demos. But because of that demo, I did a performance in 96. Okyeame heard my bad demo and drove to Kumasi to come and manage me. So you are not getting help. What it means is that you are not pushing enough. When you are in business, the first place you need to look for resources is yourself, then your immediate family, and then your friends, and then your family members, and then your community, before your city and your country. Now there are so many opportunities for a young creative person to amass resources. When you have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, it is equal to $1 million in advertising currency. How do you to set up a YouTube page is free. To set up a blog is free. To set up a Facebook page is free. To set up an Instagram page is free. Why don't you down and set up an Instagram page where every Friday you drop bars on your page? I tell you, in 1 year you have more than 1 million subscribers. That will immediately turn you into an influencer. And big businesses, based on your brand's direction, will pay you 5,000 Ghana cedis to post just one ad. And if you get 2 in a month, that is 1,000. How many CEOs in Ghana get paid 10,000 cedis a month? You know, so based on your resources, you will be able to curate a certain buzz and euphoria that can let people come and see you. And based on the number of eyeballs you have, you can monetize it. So basically, when God gives you the talent of acting, rapping, singing, speaking, it is a complete talent. If it is not making money for you, if it's not getting you to a place where, then your intelligence is working against you.
Thank you very much.
Right. Hitz 103.9 FM. Ernest.
Yeah, Andy. Good morning.
Morning.
I hope you're doing well.
Very well.
In spite of the stress we've been through today, by God's grace, we're here. Yeah, bruh, good morning.
What's up?
Yeah, so how's my sister?
Oh, Charlie, I'm trying my best.
Yeah, I've been seeing you guys on IG. You're doing well. You're doing well. I like the way you always want the world to know who you are and what you have, you know, and the way you treasure your family. Bruh, Andy, do you know where I know him? He doesn't even know.
Cass.
Ashtown.
Hey!
Achumunum. No, I've never told you this, you know. We've been talking, but my mother used to sell there.
Your mother used to sell my grandmother. Yes, that's my grandmother right there. So, my grandmother died at 101.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah. My mother went for the funeral.
Wow.
Just that I couldn't go.
Oh man.
You know,
family.
It's been way back.
Yes, this is way
back. And I'll say that, you see, for how long have you been in the industry?
24 years.
24. Charlie, you deserve some applause. Because to be relevant after even 5 years, 10 years is a blessing. So for you to stay relevant for over 2 decades and even counting, the question is, what's the secret?
Wow, the secret is one, purpose. I know 100% that I was born to rap. I was born to be a poet. I know it. You know, so I know my purpose in life is to I know my purpose in life is to rap and to write music and to write books and to write. I know that's what I'm here to do. But beyond purpose, like the sports people say, off-pitch activities, is that now that I've become popular, how do I make sure that the people who have made me popular benefit of my popularity? So I give myself up for all developmental projects. So I work with the UN, I work with UNICEF, I work with the embassies, I work with the Ministry of Health, I work with Ministry of Trade, I work with everybody who is committed to developing the minds of the people. So, and because of that, even in months or years when I'm not recording an album, or when I'm not trending for having the #1 song, I will still be doing something that is of importance to the people. Therefore, I'm relevant to the people. So that apart from that one is good management. So I've been working with everybody I work with. The smallest time or the shortest time period of time that I work with one of my people is just 5 years. So I've been working with my photographer. Everybody I've worked with Abuakese here for 11 years. Been working with Andy for all my life since I was 6. Been working with my wife all my life. Everybody that I work with, it's a close, small knit that we work together. And these people who are in management, they have made a promise to themselves that they will make sure that I survive. Because of that, I know that it's incumbent. It's important for me to survive and not disgrace Abuakese. Abuakese stops everything he is doing in life to follow me. Wow. So I know it's a responsibility for me to succeed for myself and Abuakese. Otherwise, people will laugh at him. Yeah. So management also plays a role. But I think that the most important thing is honesty. If you are honest about your craft, if you are honest about your relationship, if you are honest and you do not lie or play with people's emotions, the universe aligns for you to get what you want.
Yeah, Andy, I cannot say much, but what I can say is, you see, you've been an example. One, hardly do you see people succeed when they are in a group and they split. Most time you see either one person succeed or sometimes the group individually, they don't even make it at all. We can count thousands of people in the world and in Ghana. But when you started, people were like, oh, would he succeed? Or it would be like, what happened? But you've proven to the world that when the time comes for you to go solo and you are convinced and you decide to do it and do it well, the world will still accept you. And apart from that too, Charlie, staying relevant for 24 years, bruh. You deserve a big award. Let's rest it here. We will talk later. Yeah, you've done well.
Righty.
You've done well.
Well, thank you very much, Ernest. Mr. Logic just walked in. Anything under the sea, man of inyam.
Good morning.
Fabulous.
Also, you
catch out this money from French.
Oh, nobody knows.
No. And more big, don't say it already.
Okay, sorry.
Andy coming, I was listening to Kwame. Kwame is an amazing person and he has a good heart. I mean, it's very important to have a clean heart so that anybody you deal with, they can always give a good testimony of you. I've known Kwame not today.
I know.
Way back. Way back. Just that Kwame denied me of a collabo, which today Yogi Dogi boast about.
It's true.
Yes, because Kofi brought me to the studio. Kwame brought Yogi Dogi.
It's true.
And we all came to feature on one song. Then Kwame wanted Chi. I think Zamalek wanted Chi Raga. And I said I couldn't do Chi. I want to do Patwa. Then Zav was pushing for Chi. Then Kwame brought Yogi. So if Kwame had not brought Yogi,
you would have
I would have done my thing there. So Yogi too came. He also mastered his Chi and he said, Chi, got me to answer. I can't do Chi.
Right.
So that's how come he got on that song.
Okay.
And he shot to fame from there. We all had campsite that night.
Yes.
He brought me, he brought Kwame, he brought Yogi.
It's true.
Yeah. So we go way back.
So then, at that time, what was your name?
No. So I rather featured on one track rather. I mean,
yes.
we did a track
that
night. Instead. So that's how come Yogi got his break. So Kwame, me and Okyeame, we go way back. Kwame is my family. We discuss, we talk, we do stuff. Because we did a song, we wrote together.
Yes.
We co-wrote.
Yes,
so I know Kwame's knowledge when it comes to songwriting. So when you're asking about songwriting issues, I say Kwame is an intelligent person. He's a poetic writer. So you always find his rhymes are always different. Then the last thing is with the fatherly trait. Andy, I believe that to be a good father, you need to have self-respect. It's very important. Self-respect and self-discipline, because all the fathers whose kids are left walking on the street, wayward and all this, unattended to, are fathers who don't respect themselves. Because when people see that, they say, oh, that's Andy's son.
Don't use me.
Oh. Okay, that's who, so and so son and daughter. And it comes back to you. So my policy is, once I have a child with you, whether we are together or not, that child, I will take care of him until he's a full-grown man. Wow. Because if I leave that child, it will still come back to me. When that child's life messes up or he's not well groomed. So that's my principle. So I really love the fatherly trait, because that's how we all operate. We are fathers. fathers with love.
Yes.
Thank you.
So big respect, bro.
Me das.
Thank you.
Yes.
Me
But
Kwame,
not
wait,
there.
wait,
I guess my boys need pressure kakra.
That's a mom pressure. Yeah, no.
Penny be any mom pressure.
My
So
mom.
with the 50 year.
Debbie, my mom.
So your new song.
Yes.
We are ending the interview. Your
Yes,
new
yes.
song.
Aggressive.
So yeah, cool.
Yes.
What? Okay. Why did you choose Kwame Eugene?
Because he's artist of the year. Period.
No, was that the reason?
Oh, no. Because Kwame Eugene is my friend. I remember when I was his age, I had played Masanaba. It was the biggest song in the world at all places where all Ghanaians are, from London to Russia to anywhere. And if I had someone with my experience now, who was my friend, and that I could talk to about relationships, about experience, about branding, about positioning. If I had someone like that who was my friend that I could talk to every day, I think I could have done more. So I see Kwame Eugene as a much younger, much more intelligent, much more exciting and talented version of me. So I want him to succeed. So that's not why I did a song with him. But because of that, he's my friend. And because he's my friend, we talk, we vibe a lot. So last year I told Abuaka, said, I'm going to do a song, but I feel it in my heart, in the secret chambers of my heart, that Kwame Eugene will be the one to produce it, to make it a hit. So I remember Annie asking me, is Kwame Eugene a producer? I said, yes. Even a year ago, he won the best. He's a producer, but he's just known for singing. So I think that Kwame Eugene will be the one. So I did something on phone, and I sent to Abuaka to send him, and he said, wait, but it was only possible because we are friends. So he could tell me. So I said, then he did this beat like halfway through with lyrics on it and then brought it.
Didn't you see it as a bit, well, I know now about and you are much older, especially after producing a Made in Ghana album, a classic album.
AB, when I played it to AB said, I said, but you see, when people want to eat fufu, they want to eat fufu. You can't now go and make rice water. People want to listen to drill. When people wanted to listen to crank, we gave them Woso. When people were listening to hip hop in Ghana, we gave them Masanaba.
You know, it's good you've mentioned that, because I remember when you did Woso, when I told you let's go to it, you said no. So because man, I know the sort of person you are.
Yes, because I was processing it. But when I did the Made in Ghana album, I did the whole album live, with live musicians performing, choosing rhythms from each of the 10 regions. I knew that I had exhausted that space enough for me to do something else. You know, creativity is like water through a hose. When the one in front leaves, the ones from the back can come. But because I'd done the Made in Ghana album that I was so proud of, I was willing to try new things.
Okay.
And then we tried this one. And I remember that the conversation we had before we wrote the song, or before I recorded my verse on the song, was that let us record the song that sounds like what is happening, but make a lot of meaning out of it. And in 2019, 2020, we all know we are afraid of COVID, then we are afraid of lockdown, then lockdown came with financial perks, then the financial perk came with stress and anxiety and depression. We are all afraid. So then let us do a song that will remind people. So if you listen to this song carefully, we see that it's the reverse of Woso.
Okay.
So in Woso, I speak of the problems, then the chorus is Woso. But this one, we speak of the solution, and then the chorus is the problem.
Right.
And it's the same beat, just the BPM. Just this one is a little faster. It's the same beat, same signals, same everything. You know, so we decided to record the song that will tell people, say, even though say yeah, kono, there is hope. That's one sign.
Okyeame Kwame, I'm so grateful for your time, and thank you very much for coming, man. Yeah, man. I really enjoyed this.
I've known Andy Dossi since he was 6.
Hey.
And then our mothers worked at the same school. Our mothers worked at the same school. My mother was the head at the primary school, and then Andy's mother was the head at the JS.
Okay.
Same school.
So we've known each other since we were born. We used to live like 5 houses away at Ashtown. Yes, 5 houses away. I've known Andy since he was short.
From listeners, keep it tuned in here on this 103.9 FM. It's been fun having Okyeame Kwame in the studio.
This is Hitz.